Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gladiator 150 here from the Michigan International Speedway. I am your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator, and we are in the second race for the chase for the Output Cup. Awesome to be here. We've got 23 cars lined up for the second round of playoff action. As you can see them all out there on track. They about 5 minutes ago started up a pit party. Have had a couple of casualties from it, but for the most part, everyone still going on strong. 75 laps ahead of us here at the Michigan International Speedway. And this track is about 6 cars wide, and they're going to use every single lane of it. You see on screen, we've got the 78 Brian Pizzicami to 39 of James Watson battling it out side by side. Just behind him, we have the return of TJ Crampton. He's in that yellow Pennzoil 03 car. He's just come back from having a few weeks off while he went to Indy to go watch the Indy 500. When his family make a road trip out of it, as they just about go 3 wide there in 3 and 4. Crampton trying to get up there. I think he's there now. Oh, big looseness there for the 78 car. And he's lost a little bit of ground because of it. Very momentum-centric track is Michigan. High speed, very wide. It's 2 miles long. So there was a big bunch of smoke there coming off turn 2. I don't know who was the cause of it. But at the moment, on the top of the timetable, we have the 19 of Logan McAnally, Thomas Harmon P2, Jonas Marquez doing an awesome job up there in 3rd. We've got Scott Rickard in 4th, Mark Pentacuff in the... Oh, sorry. We've got Massier in 4th, Rickard in 5th, Mark Pentacuff up there in P6. And it's Horton, Lansford, Champo, and Pizzicami wrapping up the top 10 as there's contact between Watson and Campbell. And it looks like they've taken out Thomas Harmon as well, and a big secondary whack into the driver's door there for Thomas Harmon from the 15 of Ken Campbell. Actually, no, that was from the 39 of James Watson. Don't mind me, I'm too hard of a whole idiot. But Thomas is going to continue driving on. Only 2 cars have not set lap times yet. That's 74 of Austin Collins and 11 of Jimmy Cocker. Time is ticking away. These guys are going to have to start thinking about what they're going to do for qualifying here soon. They're going to run a higher line, a mid line, or a low line. Looks like for the moment everyone's kind of preferring that second lane there through turns 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is fair game for just about anything. You see Pizzicami running the 3rd lane, Champo running what would be about the 5th or 6th lane. Generally go about 7 wide around here if you squeeze them in tight. And I'm expecting at least 1 4 wide in this race. Also the track with the highest top speed on the schedule. As you see the 5 of Mark Pentacuff running the Larson line, just grazing the fence ever so slightly. That's kept them side by side with the double low of Jonas Marquez. And it looks like Jonas has dropped off the pace here a little bit now. As Pentacuff all over the back. 15 of Ken Campbell. I'm not surprised seeing this pace from Pentacuff with him being up in P6 and hounding one of the faster drivers in the league. Mark's one of the dark horses for this race, and we could expect to see him do well, but we'll have to wait and see. As there's now just under 5 minutes to go in practice. We'll cut away with about a minute to go. That way we can let these guys do their qualifying in peace. At the moment, doesn't seem to be too terribly much going on, although there is a side-by-side battle there between the 9 of Joe Slama and the 12 of Chris Champeau. They're just behind the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. And these guys are behind the other pack that we were looking at before with Marquez, Campbell and Pentacuff. I don't feel like we talk about Mark Pentacuff enough. He is a former dirt late model driver, and he is absolutely disgusted by the way dirt late models drive on iRacing, as they don't drive anything like the real thing. As someone's engine just went boom. I think that was in the pit lane. But Mark is one of the OGs here in the Output Racing League. And honestly, you know, he just needs one lucky day and we'll see him sitting in victory lane. He's been putting in the hard yards too. He's been doing a lot of the NIS races, the long distance NASCAR races here on iRacing. As you see Slama diving to the inside of Pizzakemi, door-to-door contact. There's about 4 laps left in practice, just under 3 minutes. That's 4 laps that they can complete. And that is, unless one of them hits a NOS button and can get an extra lap in. Time ticking down very quickly. 2 minutes to go. Of course, with last week being the first race in the chase for the championship, as Slama got in the fence, and then unfortunately contact there with the 12, and that's just ruined it for all 3 of them. But the title fight is very close indeed. Probably touch a little bit more on that later on. Because it is now time for us to start thinking about going for a quick commercial break. As I'm just trying to get us aimed on someone on track. And there's the 5 of Mark Pentacuff. We'll probably stick with him. So we're going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we will have our starting grid for the Gladiator 150 right here from the Michigan International Speedway. So make sure you go get someone to hold on to, because this is going to be a fantastic race right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the second race in the Team Watson Racing Setups chase for the Output Cup. Welcome back to the Michigan International Speedway for the Gladiator 150. As you can see, qualifying is now complete, and it's time for us to see who is starting where. On the pole, it's going to be the 38 of Thomas Harmon on his outside, the 19 of Logan McAnally. Out of P3, we're going to have the 13 of Travis Massia, and P4 it's going to be the 2 of Reggie Ortega. P5 will see the 9 of Joe Slammer with the 03 of TJ Crampton out of P6. P7, we will have the 11 of Jimmy Cocker with P8, the 93 of Matt Sisler. P9, we're going to have the 12 of Chris Champeau with P10, the 05 of Scott Rickard. P11 will see us with the 74 of Austin Collins with P12, the 50 of Logan Lansford. P13 is going to be the 15 of Ken Campbell with 14th being the 61 of Corey Cook. P15 is going to be the 7 of Kyle Krause with P16, the 39 of James Watson. P17 now will have the 5 of Mark Pentecost with P18, surprisingly the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P19 and the last car eligible for the Hard Charger Award, Matt Horton with P20, the 21 of Thad Faylor. P21 is going to be the 18 of Patrick Orr with P22, the 78 of Brian Pizzicemi. And last but not least, in the 23rd position, the 00 of Jonas Marquez. 75 laps ahead of us here at the Michigan International Speedway. And it looks like cars are about ready to start rolling. In fact, they are starting to roll onto the track surface now. Just waiting for everyone to roll out of the pits. Here we go, 75 laps, 150 miles, 23 competitors. Who is going to take it out? Now remember, most importantly, the first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone, and the leader will have lane choice. And around here, probably want to have someone you trust behind you. The pace car rolls into the pit lane for the first and hopefully last time of the night. It's time for us to get going for the Gladiator 150 right here from the Michigan International Speedway. We are green. And it was a very good start there for the 19 of McAnally. He actually had his nose ahead of Harmon when they got to the line. See the field already starting to spread a little bit as McAnally and Harmon side by side, they come down the long back straight. It looks like McAnally has the advantage and has pulled ahead, but here comes the 03 of TJ Crampton making it 3 wide with the 2 of Reggie Ortega. Look at the burst of speed he had up on the inside. Immediately up into P2 from P4 in just the time of the straight and half of turn 3. First lap in the books now, and that does go the way of McAnally. And it's still a fairly epic battle here at the front of the field. I said Horton was the last chance for the Hard Charger Award. I was actually wrong in that. Jonathan Hernandez in 18th is the last eligible for the Hard Charger Award. You can see Thomas Harmon just falling off the back of the leaders here a little bit. We focus on crashes. And we've fallen back to the 13 of Travis Massia, who's up in the top 5. having a good run. There's Jimmy Cocker in the 11, currently in 10th place. Sorry, back into 11th place, as Corey Cook has gotten in front of him. It looks like the front of the field had mostly single filed out there as they were going down the back straight. Corey Cook going for the move on the inside of Chris Champeau. That is for 9th. Travis Mascio looks like he's been caught on the bottom of the track, and he's starting to bleed a couple of positions. He's gone back to 6th right now, and up the inside goes Matt Sisler to take that away from him as well. Well, Sisler got that fraction loose coming out of the corner, and that allowed Mascio back by him. Slama now going to go for the move. This is what I was talking about. One small break in momentum, and you could lose so much time around here because the speeds are so high. Sisler looked to have that move made on Travis, and he was under threat from Slama going into turn 3. And it looks like Sisler now working to the outside of Mascio, and he takes over the spot. Just having a look back in the pack here a little bit. James Watson has fallen off the cliff quite a bit. Right back here with the 50 of Logan Lansford in 22nd and 23rd. Just in front of them, Thad Faylor in the 21. And he looked like he lost a bit of momentum there going into turns 1 and 2. He'll gain it back here on the back straight, especially with the draft. And these three actually maybe under a little bit of threat of losing the draft here a little bit. Smart for them to get lined up, especially on the straights. Move up a little bit. There's Jonas Marquez. He's right behind the 74 of Austin Collins. Jonathan Hernandez and Kyle Kraus also in this little group. I see Kraus running the second lane. Hernandez, Collins, and Marquez all running a little bit higher up on the track. We're just going to focus on this battle up ahead as Kraus. He couldn't get back up in front of Hernandez, and now he's lost that little bit of momentum and the draft. And look at everyone behind him lining up to take a pot shot. A little wiggle there from Jonas Marquez as they got onto the back straight. And here comes Ken Campbell now, charging to the inside of Kraus. Side by side they go. Kraus with the momentum of the outside line and that little bit of draft, starting to come back into it a little bit now. 15 of Campbell, still trying to get up the inside of Jonas, and he'll do so. Oh, Jonas unsettled into the side of the 15. As Ken Campbell spun out onto the apron. Let's back this up. See if we can get another look at it here. Oh yeah, see, look, he just got really loose coming out of turn 2 there. Just caught the right rear of Ken Campbell. And he does catch the fence as well. Hopefully not much damage there for the 7 of Kyle Kraus. He did get into the back of him. And spinning out there is the 15 of Ken Campbell. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I can see the pace car is starting to roll. That is our first caution of the race. And the 03 of TJ Crampton is going to be your leader. That's Crampton from McAnally, Ortega, Harmon, and Rickard as your top 5. Patrick Orr has gone to the pits. And we're under caution here on now lap number 10 of 75. And it looks like we've got quite a few takers for the pits. Crampton and Ortega have stayed out. Everyone else has decided to come to the pits. And Patrick Orr has pulled the pin. He is OUT out of the race. So let's see if we can get the pit lane graphic up. Can't remember where it is. There it is. Collins already off pit road. There's McAnally, Harmon, Watson, Rickard, Champeau, Sisler, and Massier. So the order, as it stands, no one is a lap down. Patrick Orr is out of the race. And it's Crampton, Ortega, Collins, McAnally, Harmon, Rickard, Watson, Champeau, Sisler, Massier, Salama, Cocker, Hernandez, Cook, Kraus, Pizzakemi, Marquez, Pentacuff, Baylor, Campbell, Orton, and Lansford. We should be going back to the 2x2 formation here, as we'll get ready for a restart. Be able to see which lane the 03 of TJ Crampton is going to choose, and it looks like he's choosing the low side. But he still holds the advantage because he can go at any time after he enters the restart zone. All right, here we go now, gearing up for the restart. The pace car made that hard left turn into pit lane, and we'll get ready to send them off once more here in the Gladiator 150 from the Michigan International Speedway. Remember, our top 2 did not pit under that caution. We'll see whether that's going to work for them or not, as we're off and racing the 74 of Austin Collins. Got a really good jump there, but I think it was almost too good as he bumped into the back of the 03. Probably expecting him to go a little bit sooner than he did. It was almost a 3-wide battle for the second position. As Ortega on the outside didn't get the best of starts, but he's making the most of it right now with the outside run. You saw there briefly the 03 weaving to try and break the draft. 3 wide with Rickard, Collins and Harmon. We're working lap 14 of 75 now. These guys doing everything in their power to try and chase down that 03 car. There's even 3 wide here back in the pack. Can't quite tell who it is. I think there's Joe Slama in there in the 9 car. There's Jonathan Hernandez. And the piggy in the middle was the 61 of Corey Cook. And now Zisler trying to make it 3 wide with Slama and Masia. And that's become Masia and Cook now. It says just about contact. There is contact between Masia and Sisler. Go back up to the front of the field now. And you can see the battle for second heating up. The 19 of McAnally going to the inside of Ortega. And they are chasing down the 03 of Crampton. Ortega actually doing really good here. He's on the same lap tyres as Crampton. And just by virtue of being in the draft, he is staying up there with these guys. See once more, Crampton trying to break the draft. He probably shouldn't do that because McAnally is now all over his derriere. Now we start lap number 17 and McAnally focused on that yellow car ahead of him, trying to go for the move. But Crampton being really good here in defense. As now McAnally gets to the inside. Means Crampton can't weave all over the back straight. There's contact as they went into turn 3. I think Crampton was trying to pinch him. And oh, that was weird. Crampton sideways into Collins, into the fence. Corey Cook nowhere to go. Oh, there's lots of cars involved in this one. Very late contact there for the 7 of Kraus. Let's back this one right up. Alright, now let's slow it down from here. Get a slightly tighter angle. And McAnally experimented with an alternate dimension there. But it looks like Crampton just gets loose. He overcorrected it twice and goes for a big drift. Trying to keep it off as many people as possible. Unfortunately, Austin Collins, nowhere to go on that one. And Corey Cook thought he had it cleared, and then all of a sudden, big yellow car in the way. Sorry, that's Watson and Sisler get into it. There's Pizzakemi and Masia. And Campbell, does he escape damage here? We know Kraus gets into it. And yeah, Campbell, by virtue of going through the grass, misses it. And misses the spun car of Watson there. Now let's back this up again. Slow it back down. And let's go on board with the 61 car from his cockpit. See what he saw at full speed. You can see TJ starting to slide there. He gets off the gas very smartly. Thought he had it clear there, and then boom. Oh, and he got sent for a spiral. That's unlucky for all of those drivers. But with that, we are going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we will have more racing action here from the Gladiator 150 from the Michigan International Speedway. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Well, welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here from the Michigan International Speedway. And only people who were involved in the crash decided to pit this time. And actually, Reggie Ortega did pit as well. My apologies. Chris Champeau pitted. Matt Horton. There was a few other people that pitted. Mark Pentacuff did not pit. So Pentacuff in P8 is the first car to not pit. As we are about to get the one to green here, it looks like a couple of cars possibly going to get trapped a lap down as Lansford, Watson and Cocker come back into the pits. Brandon Pizzicami and Cook all going a lap down. It looks like Kyle Kraus has succumbed to racing action. He's OUT out of this race. This is possibly what Ortega and Crampton were hoping for in that first caution. How many people stayed out? Going to be McAnally, Rickard, Harmon, Salama, Sisler, Hernandez, Campbell, Pendergast, Champeau, Ortega as your top 10. Get ready to go green once more. McAnally has chosen the inside line. Thomas Harmon poised and ready to strike there in P3. Pace car pulls in. And he waits until about 3/4 of the way through the restart zone to go. Does pull out to a great lead. Thomas Harmon did get an amazing restart there, straight up into P2. But Scott Rickard trying to fight back down the back straight. Not going to quite get there, although now they're just about 3 wide, staggered for the second position. So Rickard does take full advantage now. It's like if you want to make that low line work for a move, you've really got to just dive it in hard. There's Jonathan Hernandez up there in 5th. I think we're at the stage of the race where it's marginal on them making it to the end. Sure, if you maybe save a little bit, you possibly could. See McAnally trying to fight off the charge from Scott Rickard. As we've got a couple more people who have succumbed to racing action. Crampton and the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook, both OUT out of the race. As the damage was too severe for them to continue on. Pizzacami has continued on though, he is 1 lap down. It looks like he's a little bit off the back of the pack. So he'll be hoping for another quick caution here. That way he can go in and get some more repairs done and get back onto the lead lap. Annalee continues to lead. Let's focus anywhere and everywhere. Officially, it's the focus on crashes button. There's a battle going on between Ortega and Champeau, the 2 and the 12. They're right behind the 15 of Ken Campbell. The first caution. Although that one was definitely not on Campbell. Champeau getting pushed past the Campbell car by the 2 of Ortega. Ortega also getting that move made. Interesting race here for what is the 6th position. It looks like they're going to start pulling away from Campbell here a little bit, although Campbell managing to stick with them for the moment. And Ortega looking to take advantage of the outside momentum around Chris Champeau. And Campbell also looking to take advantage of that momentum as they battle side by side down onto the back straight. And Campbell looks like he's got that move made. But still McAnally leading away from Rickard, Harmon, Slama and Hernandez. And that's Hernandez, who started in P18 and down to pit strategy has worked his way up through the field by pitting on the first caution and not on the second one. I'm just having a look for where there is a couple other people. Travis Massier in 13th. And Mark Pentacuff. Actually, Pentacuff is scored as 13th as Massier has moved up to 11th. Cochran 11, just a little bit behind the 5 of Pentacuff in the timing screen. As Ortega now looking to the inside of Hernandez, and Hernandez trying to give the hurry up to Slama. Let's hope the push doesn't make Joe Slama into the fence. It does keep Slama in the fight, as speaking of fight, side by side for the lead is McAnally and Rickard. And again, Harmon right there, ready to pounce as McAnally takes over the lead once more, slide job style. For a small period of time in the COT era, Marcus Ambrose from Australia actually had the lap record in qualifying here. Average, yeah, I think it was an average speed of 210. As now Cedar 38, Thomas Harmon peeking to the inside of Rickard, trying to take over that second position. As Ortega still trying to get past Slama and Hernandez. Hernandez doing a really good job there of keeping Slama in that battle. And soon Reggie's going to have to start thinking, what does he have to do to get past them? Slotted into line now. Rickard looking to the inside of Harmon, and here comes Slama thinking the same thing. Hernandez was going to take it to the outside, didn't have the momentum. This is a big old battle for second place. It's almost a 7-car battle for second, as they go in 2x2 formation now. Slama trying everything he can to get his nose up in there. It looks like he's gotten clear of Harmon, but now he's stuck in the middle. He should have gone up when he had the chance. Now Harmon and Hernandez bump drafting along the front straight. And once more, Ortega has to deal with Hernandez bump drafting someone back past him. As the gap has opened up for Ortega to move up, and he will in front of Hernandez. Slama dropping back now behind Ken Campbell. And somehow in that entire battle, Jonathan Hernandez went from P6 to P6. Sorry, P5 to P5. P6 right now is Champo. Ortega looks to the outside of Harmon. Still side by side they go down the back straight. Harmon can't get up, there's not a big enough gap. There is now, and he will take it. Hernandez backs out quite considerably compared to the car in front. As Harmon just taps the fence ever so slightly. I think Hernandez was going to give Harmon a push. Unfortunately, he moved out the way. Orton trying to join in on this battle as well. We've got the 3 H's. Horton, Harmon and Hernandez. Prophecy is almost fulfilled. We just got to get them lined up now. To the inside of Hernandez goes the 12 of Champeau. And here comes Horton. Trying to get to the inside of Ken Campbell. Can't quite get that move made. He is in the draft of Champeau though. That momentum on the outside line is just so strong that you need to put in a lot of work to get that low side to work. I think Champeau just got a little bit tight as Hernandez takes the racing line through 1 and 2. Champeau will slide up behind Campbell. Cannelly now has about a half a second lead. The whole field is slowly but surely starting to catch up to Pizzacemi. Let's have a little look back in the pack here a little bit. So beyond Slammer, we've got the 13 of Travis Massier. He has space all to himself. Then it's the 11 of Cocker. No, that's the 12. That one's the 11. He's got space all to himself. And we've got Sisler. And this is a battle pack. Got Sisler, Lansford, Pentacuff. I see the 39 in there as well. We've passed the halfway mark. 38 down, 37 to go to 39 James Watson. And we've got Marquez in this battle as well. And on the back of it, the 21 of Thad Paylor. And Thad looks like he's going to make the move on Marquez. That's so quite nicely on the back straight there. It says, momentum be damned. I'll do the inside and I'll make it work. But Jonas is going to try and fight back on him as they're starting to lose touch with these cars ahead. 5 of Mark Pentacuff offering the challenge up to Watson. Watson, who will just stick in the draft there of Sisler, should be able to get back past Pentacuff. The side-by-side battling these two are doing is slowing down Sisler slightly. It's also bringing Failure to them as Paylor. I don't know what happened there. He just exits stage left. Oh, he's hit the barrels and disappeared. Oh, there he is. It looks like he might be experimenting with alternate dimensions here. Quite severely experimenting with alternate dimensions. After the car decided to exit stage left. I can hear the rest of the pack coming. Taylor's still just trying to get around here. Can't tell where he's at. He stopped. And he's taken it back to the pits. So let's continue on, and everyone's slowing down, so I think that brought out a caution. Yep, caution lights. So we're under caution for the 3rd time here tonight. And that was just moments away from Brian Pizzacemi going a 2nd lap down. So hopefully Failor can get whatever gremlins he's got going on there sorted out. Here is our leader, Logan McAnally. And I think we're going to stick it out here for the moment. Actually, you know what? Stuff it. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see the results of the pit stop cycle. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Michigan International Speedway. As you can see, everyone pitted. And I'm not surprised. And it looks like Thad Faylor has pulled the plug on it. The 21 is OUT out of the race. Ryan Pizzakemi was the lucky dog wave around. He's come into the pits to get some repairs and some fresh boots on that thing. Looks like the 74 of Austin Collins in for some more repairs as well. He wasn't the only one. I saw Sisler was in there for an extended period of time. And your leader going to be the 2 of Reggie Ortega. Didn't take tyres on that first stop. And now leads the way from the 38 of Thomas Harmon. There's Chris Champeau, Jonathan Hernandez, Scott Rickard, Ken Campbell, Logan McAnally, Travis Massier, Matt Horton, and Jimmy Crocker be out of P10. Crocker, not Crocker. And it looks like Pizzakemi has decided to take another lap down just to get some extra damage fixed. Start rolling out of the pit lane now. On completion of this pace lap, we will have just 30 laps to go in this race. Reggie Ortega has chosen the inside line, and he can choose to start this race at any point after he enters the restart zone. Pace car's already made the hard left turn into pit lane. And we are off and racing as he goes halfway through the restart zone. And what a jump he got. That was a supreme jump. That might hurt him as we get rolling here onto the back straight. Thomas Harmon is going to take the full advantage of second place. They were almost 4 wide through turn 2. And all 4 of them have red on their car. It was Campbell, Champeau, Rickard, and McAnally that were almost 4 wide there. this track is big enough for it. It's all about the skill sets. As Harmon parks it in front of Hernandez, so Hernandez can give him a big push down to turn 1. But Chris Champeau pulled out of the draft, had a huge run going there. He is up side by side with Hernandez, but he's starting to drop back now. After the outside line is taking hold. I think Rickard in the 05 has caught the fence ever so slightly. Now they're 3 wide with Campbell, Champeau and McAnally. McAnally starting to lose a little bit of go now. He slotted into line behind Campbell. Harmon once more accepts a big bump draft from the 88 of Hernandez. Campbell looks like he's about to get the same treatment from McAnally. We are past halfway, so these guys will probably start getting a little bit more desperate for positions. Because with that caution, it means that they don't have to stop again. They can make it to the end from here. Oh, big time sideways. I saw the 12. He gathered it back up, kept it going. But that loss of momentum, that's going to hurt him big time. As he's falling down the order. He's got overtaken by Salama, the P8. And he'll slot back in there. Very lucky not to have lost more than that. Logan Lansford in the 50. Oh, the 13, Travis Massia. Big time body slam into the fence. Let's back this up and have another quick look at that. What happened here? Did he just get loose? Yeah, all by himself. He just got loose coming out of the corner. Sisler made a major overcorrect there, trying to avoid, thinking that maybe Massia was going to slide down the track. Wow. Now, fortunes can change in an instant. Massia was one of those who was a dark horse to have a really good result. Unfortunately, he went from chocolates to boiled lollies there in not a very big period of time. Go 3 wide now with Champeau, Lansford. On the outside is Slama. 89 of Horton catches the fence a little bit. That slowed up Slama and made him 3 wide. And Lansford decided to get up behind the 12. Big battles going on ahead. Hernandez trying to take over second from Harmon. Hanley pushing the 88. And Harmon is pushing the leader. Harmon going to try and duck down below Ortega. It looks like he's just got there. Hernandez trying to just beat them all. Although now he's on the bottom of 3 wide with McAnally and Champeau. McAnally ducks back up behind Champ. Almost contact between McAnally and Harmon. Sorry, Hernandez. Hernandez now slots up into the top lane just in front of Horton. We still haven't had the 3 H's lining up. As now Horton is 3 wide with Lansford and Salama. It's all battle stations right now. Everyone trying to use the best of their tyres while they can, by the looks of things. Doesn't really appear like too many people trying to save at all. As Lansford, self-clearing across the nose of Horton. He wasn't actually clear, but Horton definitely gave him a bit of a break there. He's almost done it again, going to the top side. Lansford driving a little bit unpredictably here. But it is working for him. He got in front of Slama. Now he's looking to the inside of Hernandez. We'll have that move made. At the same time, Horton looking for the move on Slama. And that move is not made. Like Hernandez was trying to back up to Slama. He also left the gap open for Lansford to come through, and the break in momentum for him has made him lose out more than he probably expected as Horton now gets up in front of both Lansford and Hernandez. We have a battle on for the lead. Campbell trying to look around the outside of Ortega. Thomas Harmon still right up in this battle as well, though he's starting to lose some momentum. He jags it in front of Rickard so he can get in the draft. He didn't want to lose too much there. The draft very important around a track like this. But these moves being made, I think we're not too far away from another caution. Super aggressive driving right now, and there's plenty of times where there probably could have been something big that happened that caused a caution, but they just haven't quite done it yet. We're almost 60 laps into this race, which means laps starting to tick down very quickly. Battle on for second. That's between Campbell and McAnally, and McAnally's going to change it into a battle for the lead. He gets to the inside of Ortega. Ortega does have the preferred line. Behind him, Champeau and Harmon were battling side by side. Horton, Harmon and Hernandez are all in close quarters, but they're still not lined up. As Harmon slots back into fourth, he'll make a half dive back to the bottom, but here comes Horton. Side by side, Horton and Harmon. Harmon will take the advantage there. Here comes Scott Rickard screaming to the inside, making it 3 wide between Horton, Champeau and himself. And now Rickard is going to turn that into a battle for third. Still 3 wide as Lansford has joined the party to the inside of Horton and Hernandez. And Harmon is just about there as well, as he's stuck in the piggy in the middle with 3 wide with Champeau and Rickard. Harmon and Hernandez are lined back up again. I think Horton's dropped off the pace. Yes, he's moved back a few cars. Oh, into the fence. I think that was Hernandez. I checked up the outside line. We're still looking at this battle for the lead between Campbell and Ortega. Campbell couldn't quite get him clear. There was a little bit of contact there as they come off the corner. They're side drafting each other so aggressively right now. And Campbell just about got the clear. He does now. As Ortega got a little bit loose, got into the fence slightly, it ruined his momentum. Here comes McAnally to take over second and try and go for first. Oh, big contact. And oh no. Oh, it's all come undone for Ken Campbell in the 15. And that is going to be another caution. Back this up and have another squiz at it from a different angle. They go into the corner. 15 come down or the 19 come up. Oh, looks like it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of option 2 there. And Campbell just couldn't quite get it saved. Contact with Ortega. Into the fence. Rickard, nowhere to go. Harmon, nowhere to go. Lansford, nowhere to go. Hernandez, nowhere to go. Watson, nowhere to go. I think there's still more to come. Now round goes Lansford along the front straight here. I think he got collected again. People going through the front end camera here. So who? Oh, the 89 of Horton. Nowhere to go. Whole bunch of nowhere to goes there. And another big whack from James Watson as well. So let's take this back again. And let's get out the drone shot. We do have access to drones, and here it is. The cannon is coming down here. This is following the path of the track, and I probably slowed it down too much there. See, yeah, the 19 of McAnally just came up way more than Campbell was coming down. I'd have to probably put that one on the 19 of McAnally. Go back to the outside view. Speed it up again. Oh, that's unlucky. Right, so we're going to now go to another quick break. When we come back, we should be just about ready to go green. Welcome back to the Gladiator 150 here from the Michigan International Speedway on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Team Watson Racing Setups chase for the Output Cup. Chris Champeau is the one who leads the way. He actually had a slower box time than Logan McAnally, but I guess he got on and off pit road a little bit better. Austin Collins back there in P2, McAnally 3rd, Sisler 4th, Slama 5th, Cochran P6, Pentacuff 7, Marquez 8, Hernandez is going to come out in 9th. Watson is a lap down, but he is on the track. Pizzacami was once more the receiver of the Lucky Dog wave around. A whole bunch of cars that were caught up in that one have come back out onto the track now. Unfortunately, it looks like Campbell and Lansford, two of the cars who were unable to continue from that incident. At least unable to continue for now. I just have the sum of 9 laps left to run when we get the green flag. The pace car, hopefully for the final time, makes that hard left turn into pit lane. Chris Champeau gets into the restart zone, goes about halfway through, and gets a beautiful jump over the rest of the field. I'm going to keep the camera up here towards the front of the pack. Of heavy hitters here towards the front as McAnally trying to battle side by side with Collins. Collins, a short track specialist. There's Sisler up there as well as Salama in the top 5. Cocker is up there as well. Here's Hernandez. Now, unfortunately, Lansford and Campbell have gone multiple laps down as McAnally charges up into the front of the field. He takes over the lead, but he left the door open, and here comes the 12 of Champeau. Straight back through with an open invitation. This is really where you're going to sort out the men from the boys. As the 12 of Chris Champeau gets back to the inside of McAnally. There was almost contact there, but they managed to get away with it cleanly. But the 74 of Collins right up there as well. Hernandez in 5th, although he's looking for 4th right now. To the inside of Slama he goes. And this is the funny thing about this track. And everyone's still lined up 2 by 2 while they were racing around. The inside line would probably be slightly stronger. And yeah, you got the momentum from the outside line, but you know, the only thing that inside really needs is a better draft. As we have 5 laps left to run in this race now. And Slama has moved around the 74 car into third. Great result for Slama if he can hold on to it, as now he's challenging Champo for second. Mark Pentecoff almost has a top 10 in this. Masia would have been really glad to see that caution. He's down in 13th right now, but he would have gotten a lot of that damage fixed from his overcorrection into the fence earlier. Rickard is massively off the pace. He's about a third of the lap behind the field. Unfortunately, James Watson, another car that is massively off the pace. Words are hard, especially at 12 in the morning, midnight. Side by side, the 12 and the 74. Slama have slipped back to 4th. Campo and Collins going at it. They just need the induction of Cocker, and then we've got the C's lined up. Campbell's in the pits. And look at Cocker go. Straight down to the inside. He's looking for a good top 5 run. As the 39 of Watson decided to jump into the pits as there's 2 laps left. He's staying out of the way. He doesn't want to get involved in the leaders' battle. I think he's pulled it into his pit stall. Just not worth trying to run it for another lap or 2. But Logan McAnally still leading the way. Now it's white flag, last lap. Last chance to win it or wear it. And I don't think Austin Collins has anything here, as we have lost most of the pack. I just noticed behind Hernandez there's like no one. So there's some kind of shenanigans that's appeared to happen here on the start. Either the end of the penultimate lap or the start of the last lap. Coming out of turn 4, the 19 of Logan McAnally is going to take it out. He's got some excited wiggles going on there. Austin Collins second, Chris Champo coming home in third. Great racing from all these drivers. We'll get the results up on the screen as soon as everyone has crossed the line. There is just one more car to go, and it's Reggie Ortega. And he's decided to pull it to the pits, as McAnally will park it in victory lane here on the front straight. Surprised he's not going for a burnout. And he's hit the ejecto cedo cuz button already, as we are still waiting for race results to come up. There they are. McAnally with a win over Collins, Champo, Slama, Hernandez, Pentecoff, Masia, Pizzicami, Harmon, and Cocker. And we have Sissa, Horton, Rickard, Marquez, Ortega, Watson, Campbell, Lansford, Baylor, Crampton. And over onto the last page, Cook, Kraus, and Orr. So that's McAnally with a win over Collins and Champo. And Jonathan Hernandez was the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. So that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. Hopefully, we will be live on the next installment of the Output Racing League, which is going to be from Pocono Raceway in 2 weeks' time. So make sure you stay tuned for 65 laps of the tricky triangle. Until then, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in the Poconos.